So the next step in the pre-production phase for making your next independent feature film is the locations. This is a very important part of the process because the locations will probably factor in for a huge part of your budget. So you want to write down all the different locations you'll need, whether it's a house, an apartment, maybe it's a specialty kind of location like a gas station or a jail cell or something that's very specific. And then if it's a house or an apartment, you want to figure out if you're going to shoot this with an actual film set on different websites that have places that are just for filming, or you want to reach out to someone on Airbnb, find a place that looks like what you want, and message the host, hey, I'm doing a movie, would you mind if I film this at your place? You give them some details, which is probably the cheapest way to go. I've always shot at Airbnbs and I've never had any issues. I always ask the host and they always let me film there. It all depends on the location you want. If you want a jail cell, you're obviously gonna have to go to like one of those little mini studios with different locations inside. So you make a list, the specialty locations, the locations that are just apartments, houses, and that kind of stuff, and then you figure out if you want to use an actual film set, if your budget allows it, or if you want to save some money and go through the Airbnb route. As long as you let the host know what you're gonna do before you do it. For my next feature film, 90% of the film takes place in the cabin. I did some research on filming locations for cabins in the woods. The cheapest one I found was $70 an hour, but it wasn't really the kind of place that I was looking for. And then the ballpark budget for most of the places, or rates I should say, was $125 to $150 an hour. I need the place for about 10 days of shooting, and that would equal to roughly a little under $10,000, which is not within my budget. I did find some cabins on Airbnb that actually found one that looks exactly like what I envisioned for the film. It was $700 for 5 days, so it would be $1,400 for 10 days. What I'll do is right before the production start, or a couple of months, 2-3 months, I'll reach out to those hosts from those different cabins, and then I'll tell them, hey, I'm planning on making this film. Would you mind if I shoot it at your place? I give them the information, maybe even give them an incentive. Hey, I'll put you as producer on the film, or hey, I'll give you an extra $1,000 because $2,000 is a lot better than $10,000 for a location. So far, location ballparks for what I need the cabin for 10 days. If I go the Airbnb route, that's gonna be roughly $2,000. If I give them a little incentive, hey, I'll give you this extra money if you let me shoot there. I need a shed in the woods for a couple of hours. It's probably gonna be under $500, let's say $300. And then I also need a little ringy-dingy gas station, not like your regular gas station, but like a beat-down one in the middle of the woods. It's probably gonna be about $500 for a couple of hours. And then I also need a second house for one scene. So it's gonna be one night. I could probably get that on Airbnb as well for about $100 a night. So ballpark, the budget for my location so far, from everything I just said, is going to be around $3,000. Could be less, could be a little more. It just depends on how good my research is and the bang for your buck that I'm able to find through my research.